have here with me Miss HETRA, the CEO, and so many other positions of authority with HETRA, Miss Edie Godin. And we just got through talking about HETRA and all the beautiful, wonderful things HETRA does in the community and how HETRA got started and Mrs. Edie's qualifications and how much she loves it. And so at the last show we talked, you mentioned volunteers.
Yes.
And so I know a lot of people are like, HETRA, I've heard of them. What do they do? And I know as a volunteer, I'm ecstatic. Every time it's time to go, I'm just so ecstatic. Can you talk more about the volunteers and the different programs that they help support?
Yeah, absolutely. So volunteers are key to what we do. We have about 240 volunteer shifts a week that we fill. Usually about 180 volunteers fill all of those shifts each week. And our volunteers come from all walks of life. They need to be at least 14 in order to volunteer in the arena. First step to becoming a volunteer is going through a tour. So we have tours a couple times a month. If you go out to the website, hetra.org, you can sign up for a tour. Even if you don't want to volunteer, you just want to come check it out, see what it's all about, that tour is great to sign up for and learn more. We also have tours for participants. So if a family is wondering, like, what do you do? How would my child maybe benefit from it? They can come to that tour. One of the therapists is there, and one of the therapists will go through that tour with them. They will be there to answer any questions. So once you guys have been through the tour, we take people and invite them to come to our first training, which is our sidewalker training. And that's where the volunteers walk next to the participants and help provide support. They provide follow-through directions from people. They help the therapist or the instructor make sure our participants are, number one, safe, number two, following directions, repeating things. Sometimes in the arena it's hard to hear because it gets loud in there. So volunteers are super important. After the sidewalker training, they can go on and become trained to groom up the horses, so do all the grooming, get them ready for sessions, put their saddles on, and then eventually go through horse handling and horse leader training. And so we have 30 horses in our herd, and we have horses of all different kinds of personalities. They all must love people. But otherwise they're all different personality types. And so it's very important for our horse leaders to understand each horse, and we match horse leaders with the horses that match with their ability level. And so our first horse leader level is the blue level, and that's for horses that have been there for a while, kind of been there, done that kind of guys. And then we kind of graduate up from that, where our platinum level horses are those horses that are newer to our program. Sometimes there are really smart horses, and so sometimes those really smart horses are always thinking of how they can do something differently, which we don't want them to do. We like them to follow the path. And so those leaders are trained a little bit more experienced at a little bit higher level for those horses. And so that's really important, because if you think about, our horses might be handled anywhere from 8 to 10 people in any one day. If you had 8 to 10 bosses and they were all telling you how to do something differently, that would be really hard. And so that would result in a lot of horse burnout. And so very important to us that our horse leaders are trained at a very high level in order to handle our horses. And our horses do a very important job, and they carry very special cargo, and we want to make sure that those horse leaders fully understand, what the job is. Horse leaders, so barn maintenance, that's the other thing that we require a lot of help with. So we have 30 stalls in our barn. Our horses do live outside as well, but they'll come in. So if it's going to storm, or if we're getting real severe hot weather or very cold weather, they'll all come into the barn so that they're safe. They have fans in their stalls and fly spray, and so they like coming in when it gets super hot. But that requires more work on our part than to clean those stalls. So we have volunteers that come in and help clean stalls. We have volunteers that help with our fundraisers. We have volunteers that help with our life skills program. And so volunteers come and they help with all aspects of the program. And it's so important. 26,000 volunteer hours last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
So I highly recommend it. I think it's if you love horses and have never been around them but want to learn about them, it's a great opportunity to do that. If you love horses and have horse experience, would love to have you as well. It's just a way to kind of get your horse fix in a really positive environment. So we really encourage a very positive environment in our barn. We want our horses to always have that positive energy around them, our participants and our volunteers. We want it to be a safe place for everybody to come and for everybody to feel welcome and for everybody to feel comfortable. And
Yes.
so, and find peace. I think a lot of times I hear from people like, just even the drive out here, getting out of the city, and seeing the corn, that was peaceful. And so the sunsets out there are, I don't know if you've been out there when the sun's setting at all.
I haven't.
They are amazing.
Oh,
They're
wow.
always beautiful. So it's a very peaceful, we have a sensory garden and a sensory trail where we'll take out and work the horses out there, work with our participants out there. Life skills participants have a garden out there that they planted tomatoes and watermelon, cucumbers.
Oh.
And so you can just go out there and sit out there and watch the horses, and it's just very peaceful.
Wow. Now, I mean, I had no idea it was so many things. And the more you're talking, I'm like, okay, and I'm a sidewalker. I really like working with the barn maintenance, but I want to learn how to be a grounds too.
Yes.
So we can volunteer for more than one thing.
Absolutely. So our volunteers, we like the more cross-training our volunteers get, the better, because
Okay.
you never know, especially when you have that many volunteers that you're handling in any one given shift. Something happens, somebody's car doesn't start, or they have an emergency that comes up and they can't come. It's great to have volunteers that are cross-trained and can step into another position if they need to. So absolutely, we love it when they're cross-trained to do a lot of different things.
Now, can you just go over just line by line some of the things volunteers can do, and
Yep, so
listing.
sidewalker
Mhm.
is one of the positions. We call it groomer tacker. So those are the people that get the horses ready. Horse handler. So those would be the people that move horses either in the barn between stalls, like when barn maintenance is happening, or in and out. So taking the horses out to their turnout pen or bringing them in. And then we have our horse leaders, which are different levels. We have we call them our barn leaders. So they're the person in the back of the barn while sessions are going on, directing traffic. So they're making sure that the horses that need to get out to the next session are getting out. They're making sure they have the right tack on, that it's put on there correctly, that the horses that came back from that session have their tack taken off, that it's put away correctly. So the barn leaders, super important to making sure our sessions run well. We have what we call instructor assistants, and those can be individuals that are a little bit younger. So they can be 12. And they help with the instructors or therapists out in the arena. So they might be resetting toys or getting us toys or picking up things in the arena for us, helping us open and close the gates. So they are very important, and it's awesome when we have those instructor assistants out there when we're in session. And then we have our barn maintenance volunteers, and they're the ones that help clean stalls, they sweep, they make the barn nice and spiffy and clean, which is so very important to not only our horses' health, but also the people's health who are also in the barn. And then we also have our volunteers who help with some of our ground programming, so our life skills assistant volunteers. And then I'm trying to think, we have our event volunteers, so they come out and help us set up for events, help us get auction items and that kind of stuff. So we have amazing volunteers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea so many things went on behind the scenes.
I know.
Wow, and you probably didn't even name them all.
Probably not. I'll probably get back from this and they'll say, hey, you forgot about this and that. That's okay.
You know, we were talking about, you said it takes a village, and your village is your community partners. You want to go ahead on and talk about your community partners?
Yeah, so we have so many organizations that we collaborate with in the Omaha area. So we have Quality Living, who we collaborate with and see some of their patients. We work with Utah Holly schools and have some programming we do with them. We've done a grief program with Collective for Hope. We work with some of the different day programs. Again, they bring their participants out. We just did Kids came out and did a mini camp with the miniature horses on site. Oh, that's one thing I haven't talked about is that we also have community partnerships with a lot of the schools in Omaha and then also in Fremont. So our miniature horses actually go on site and do after school programming.
To the schools?
Yes.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So you know Blue and Stormy and
Yes.
Mary and Lala. So Blue and Stormy travel together, Mary and Lala travel together, and I think so far they've done like 11 visits, and by the end of the season, so they travel from April to October, they'll have completed, I think, close to between 30 and 40 visits.
Wow.
So they go out several times a week to schools, after school programs. They'll do summer programs. They also go to assisted living facilities and do visits there. During COVID, the minis went out and visited people in assisted living facilities at their windows, which was so important during that difficult time in our community to kind of bring people a little bit of joy. But yeah, they're fantastic. They're going to go to Horseman's Park with us. So we're Horseman's Park is helping us raise some money for a retired off-the-track thoroughbred we have. And so the mini horses are going to be out there when they do their racing here pretty soon. So the mini horses are wonderful. They probably travel a lot more than some people, I think. But they really love their jobs and they love getting out there and seeing the kids. And a lot of times they'll go for 2 hours and they may see 4 groups of kids, and there might be 20 kids in each group. And sometimes that's the first time some of those kids have been hands-on and up close, get to touch them with a horse.
I'm sure.
So it's really cool. I love that program.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's just really amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably, I'll probably say it's one of my favorite programs, but they're all my favorite. You know, it's kind of like the horses. I always tell people, oh yeah, he's like one of my favorite horses. And then I'll be like, but so is that one, and that one, and that one.
Can you just name just the names of the horses? I think it's just so cool, some of the names you have.
So we have Vern. So Vern is our newest one. He's our Clydesdale.
Oh, wow.
So he's pretty cool. We have Lunchbox. So Lunchbox is the off-the-track thoroughbred that we just got. We have Blue and Stormy, Mary and Lala, our miniature horses. We have Mike. So he is one of our therapy horses. We have Casper and Diamond and Georgie. Waldo and Smokey just retired, so they actually live at my house now. A lot of people know Waldo and Smokey both. Smokey actually was a standard bred harness racing horse, and then he retired from that, and he became a mounted police horse for the Omaha Mounted Patrol, and then he retired from that and became a therapy horse. So
Wow.
he's had quite a life.
Oh my goodness.
So a lot of people know Smokey as well. We have Galaxy, so he's one of our gentle giants. So he's this giant big guy, and he doesn't do the mounted riding program anymore. He just does the ground programming, but he's huge. He used to be a jumper, but he just loves people, and he's so gentle and so kind with people, and even people that are really, really have that initial kind of fear response. He just makes people feel so comfortable. He's been an amazing horse. And let's see, who else do we have? We have Cheech, and we have Smarty, and Ruger, and Kobe, and Coco. Try not to leave anybody out, but I'm sure I did there too. So we have an amazing herd of horses. They work really hard, and we work really hard to take good care of them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is Leaders in Purpose at KPAO, y'all, with Miss Lady Cece and Miss Edie Godden. And she is the CEO of a wonderful, fantastic, excellent, marvelous organization called HETRA, who, as you can see, brings so much love, brings so much help, brings so much wonderment and awe to the lives of many women, children, adults. I mean, just seem like everybody, because they just have integrated the horses into the community so that all who maybe would not have even had an opportunity to even be around a horse, seen a horse for real, that they can. And I just think that is just so amazing, so wonderful. I usually open with I'm just so excited just to get the Miss Edie to talk. We're going to go ahead on and just thank KPAO for having us. And thank you, KPAO. Y'all have been here for a long time, and I thank you that you have hosted my show, Leaders in Purpose. We deal with health, education, cultural development, human rights, human services, economic development, political education, political education, as well as spiritual enlightenment, recreation, and other topics. I usually just open with the spiritualness, where I just want to connect with as many people as I can from around the world. So whoever your spirit is, whoever you connect to, whatever writings, whatever moral code that you follow, go ahead and get those moral codes out. You get those moral codes out and go through them and review them. And if you did your moral code, like for instance, say if you have the 10 Commandments and it says, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill. Now, you know, killing, you could not only kill with weapons, but you could also kill people with your tongue. You could kill people with the way you look at them. You know, you could kill people's reputation. So there's so many ways to kill. But if you didn't do any of those things, go on and give yourself a hug for following your own moral code and your own standard of living, for the way you treat yourself and the way you treat others. But if you didn't, you know, honey, somebody got to you, sugar, and you was like, that person do that one more time. My eyes, if looks could kill, sugar, sugar, sugar. I know, honey. Go ahead on and picture yourself. Go back to there and picture yourself doing it a different way. You know, perhaps you could have, put yourself doing it a different way. Perhaps you could have more patience. Perhaps you just stay out of their company. Perhaps, whatever other way you could have done it. And if there's no other way, well, that's between you and whoever. And so you picture yourself doing it a different way, and you give yourself a hug. Picture the positive effect it have on yourself. Picture the positive effect it have on others, because you never know what some people are going through, especially in this day and age, honey. You never know what somebody's going through. Give yourself a hug, and we want to go ahead on and send prayers and our spirits of help and love out to those who are in San Antonio, Texas, and they're just going through so much, and the different wars that are going on with Israel and Palestine, and we want to go ahead and send prayers out to our leaders, our leaders here of America, of the United States of America, and those who we do dealings with. Just we want to just put that peace out there, that fairness out there, those biblical principles that we stand on here in America. So I started this late. I put too many minutes on it, so I think it's about time for us to stop. Do you have any last? We got 1 minute 34 seconds. Any last words to say?
Just thank you again for having us. If people want more information, our website hetra.org is a great place to get it. So please come out. Please come for a tour. Come visit us. Find out what services we have, and we hope to see you as a volunteer or a participant.
Yes. HETRA, y'all. HETRA. You guys, are you on Facebook, LinkedIn? Can you tell us what the
all
different
of those?
places?
Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're on all the things. I think.
TikTok.
I believe TikTok, yes.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I believe so, yes.
Okay, and it's just HETRA, H-T. No, you don't even have the period.
Yep.
HETRA.
Yep, HETRA.org.
.org. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.